All right, we're gonna go ahead and get started today. Setting up a whole new base, maybe? Question mark? Oh, as long as Empyrion actually wants to load for me, but we'll find out. So. Kind of attempt to get another cup of coffee while I wait. Coffee was really good. Although the thing is, like, I like the coffee, but especially this kind seems like it'd be really good with some. I went pretty decently light on dinner, so I kind of debate there. Awesome, buddy. High five. Oh, okay. Hey, you guys have fun drawing? I'll be upstairs streaming. Dad's just getting his coffee. Yep. Yeah, buds. I'm just kind of wanting a nice cup of coffee before I start this whole mess up. Just kind of beginning to realize how much I actually enjoy that. But, anyways. So yeah, hopefully on this stream today we'll be able to actually get a base up and rolling. Have to wait for my coffee to heat here. We'll find out how far we actually get with it. Sounds like we loaded in. I'm pretty sure where I last left off should be relatively safe. Maybe. We'll find out here in a minute. If I hear myself dying, I'll be like, well, I gotta go pick my stuff back up. But yeah, one of the major things that I need to actually do today is collect some resources. That's one of the things that I've been really struggling with, is actually finding resources as well. I think I have some basic stuff sitting around, but I'm pretty sure on planet right now, there's not a lot of stuff available for me to actually get. So last I looked, I think the starter area only had copper. My Keurig, I should say, for coffee sounds like it's taking off like a freaking airplane warming up its engines. Oh. My kids are drawing stuff, showing me. We'll see what we could do. Kind of debating on actually doing my own build with this, or ending up doing something a little bit different. Yeah, you can go watch your stuff. I'm not doing anything fancy, buddy. Ooh, I can hear my coffee brewing. Such exciting gameplay right now. Standing still, waiting for my coffee to brew in real life. It's the simple things. Simple things. I used to not be a coffee drinker, and I started the job I'm currently doing right now. Apparently in game I'm hungry. Do we actually have anything candy like? Nope, not seeing anything. Okay. No sweets really sitting around unless there's some in the basement. But my coffee's finally done. Get to put some nice creamer in. Gotta say, I am a big fan of that. Real nice. So, just need to get a nice stir here. Probably be my last cup for tonight. I'll probably only be up to about 2 or 3, but... okay. Ah, right, I remember now. I was stuck in here last time I left off. Okay. I am like low on food. That's a no bueno. Oh, I guess liquor is a commodity itself, but great, but little turd. Not a lot of food, but well, some. Oh, got a bad trip. As we'll eat this. Probably gonna start dying. Yep. I'm doing this for fun.
Watch the. I stairs.
Alright, after looking around, there really has to be more to this, because there's all these spider sounds that I keep hearing. Some spiders keep respawning. So I have to be missing something. Eggs and stuff. Alright, cool. Kind of know where this is. Pick this back up, go back to this. We at least have some food kind of on me now. And I know that that's up there. So what we're gonna do, start trying to look and where I can find some of this extra stuff at, because getting out of here is proven to be interesting. Uh-huh. Okay. Tells me there's more stuff somewhere that I'm missing. Oh boy. I guess they're kind of stuck. Not gonna lie, the spider's been a little derpy. Like the AI's been a little derpy. I'm not gonna complain right now. Okay. Are you like... Okay. We had a nice container to loot there. So it was kind of worth coming down here. Guess. God, it still sounds like there's more. Somewhere. Oh. Okay. Was not expecting that in here. Found the better. they're about the same. Just play faster. I don't know. Armor boost, titanium. Uh. Eh.
Oh, are you streaming on Twitch or something?
Oh, am I streaming? Yeah. I'm streaming right now.
Ah, I'm sorry, I didn't want to interrupt.
Oh, you're fine, dude.
Ah,
You're
okay.
just hanging out, streaming. Fun. As I can. Luxury good. Grab that. Grab this luxury good. Care that much about the confetti mall? See. I swear I'm missing something inside this cavern, and it's driving me nuts because I'm still hearing the occasional spider.
And you're in Empyrion, yes.
Yep. It's a co-op one, you're welcome to join.
Thanks, but actually I'm going to be heading off soon. I just kind of wanted to stop in and say goodnight.
I get it.
Hang out for like 10 minutes and then...
I get it.
Oh.
I get it. That's cool. Got work in the morning?
Yep. And the next day, too. I'll be putting together deli trays like mad.
I wonder why you're doing that. That seems odd.
Golly gee, I wonder why. How many? Like 30, and I'm not exaggerating.
Oh.
Actually, I kind of wish I was the one putting them together, but really I'm there to cover the counter.
That sounds fun. Sure you'll have a great time? Alright. Burial chamber. Good. Likes to flip. So we're having like the really crappy hovers. Like really shows. Please show me a move. You know what? I probably seriously would. Guess I'll take. Oh, so they gave me a teleporter. Alright. Ah. I think my vehicle's on the other side. Find it. There it is. Alright, here we go. I was like sitting there for a second going like, where the heck is it? My brain. I'm going to... Oh, shoot. Dang it. Guess I'll use this. I don't know. Okay. We'll get back up in the air. And I want to find a good spot for the area. Ugh. Upgrade my crap. Probably just wreckage off to the... Nope. Hang on. Huh. Nice. Grab a little fruit.
No. Real quick bit of news. Alpha 20 for 7 days a night is now stable.
Already?
Yeah,
That's
Alpha 20 B238 goes stable. At this rate, they might have a release by the end of the decade rather than the end of the century.
kinda wanna, but I don't.
Anyway, I'm off. You have a good night.
AJ?
And a Merry Christmas.
Yeah, man. There's some burgers and stuff in here. Looks like a pretty nice little mini base if I can actually figure out how to actually everything. Okay. Oh boy. That might actually be a problem. Hmm. Okay. I thought I was gonna be screwed. Then I found my way deeper in. Awesome. Actually kind of excited about that. I can blow that open. Actually, a really good question. That. So I don't need an additional projectile pistol. Alright. That has to be the way out, though. Thing I could think of reasonably. The other part's just UI. Hey buddy, you're welcome to. trying to dig out of this. I think this is the only way out of this bunker. Maybe. I'm gonna need my rep with Polaris. Kind of getting annoyed that I'm doing it. Like, you know, I'm not trying to take your stuff and I'll happily give you all the ice packs. But yeah, that looks like that's the way out. Okay. Hopefully I didn't tank my rep with them too much. Let's see. Oh, we're level 9. Large constructor, gonna need that. Box. Jump shot. Really need armor door? Good job, buddy. Alright, and then we have RCS thrusters, projectile turrets? Do I have... Okay, I did unlock those. Yeah, I'd like the bigger hovers, I guess. Right now I just have the repulsors gonna blow. One thing I will have to check, because I may end up restarting this eventually, is Eden Reforged is a really fun mod that just adds extra turrets to make small vessels have their own turrets on them and a couple other things. So, you know, besides just the minigun turret, which is nice that small vessels do have that at least, because they used to not if which was a bummer. But it makes it so that way, you know, they can shoot stuff. I'm gonna go into... I'm gonna need this. I don't really need the multi... Laters. I want elevator block. Portable work lights will be good. Guess I'll spend points and grab that. Okay. I have 6 points left that I can directly spend. Should have saved for the shotgun or the sniper rifle. But I'll grab the points for the assault rifle. Eventually being able to make the minigun. So. At least leveled up through there. See what it's gonna... I'll fly over and then see what it's gonna take to eventually get the detector. Because if we can make a detector on this puppy, it'll make our lives that much easier. So I just don't know. Let me check here. Tech tree, our vessels. Because my concern is the detector is going to take... portable can make it, it looks like. Which is what we have access to. Go. We might end up being okay. Wreckage over. This is kind of what we were messing with here. So we'll park ourselves back where we sort of were. Not near that convoy. I want to out. I should just honestly sit down and ask from the seat, but whatever. Alright, so we got a portable constructor. So we're gonna go ahead. Much of that stuff is there. That back. So we do have a couple different things here. Only issue is that I think we might run into. I don't have a lot of copper. We'll have to see what this takes. Because my concern is that it's going to take copper device-wise. Okay, so have any electronics? That's the that's what it looks like we're going to need is electronics. I should have some. I think I kept some. Just enough. Well, technically more than enough, but enough for what we need. I can pull all this back. We'll have a detector for that ship, and then kind of be able to go from there, which is what we. Okay. Grab that guy again. Oh, that just looks hysterically bad. Okay. Did that just delete it? Okay, we gotta not do that. If I'm gonna put it down, I gotta find a nice spot for it, so it doesn't that kind of stuff, because that's not good. Don't have that many resources sitting on me. What we'll do then, pull the block off, able to chuck it back in there then, right? We'll do a little bit of repair. Again, not very expensive. Good here. Okay.
you
I don't know, bud. You'll have to figure that out. Alright. Getting real close. Yeah, so definitely more doable than I originally thought it was going to be, because not having access to a lot of stone early on kind of hurt. So, we'll go ahead, plop that in, pick our constructor back up. We're actually right next to where we need to. I probably could have just left it down, because we're going to need some carbon substrate, which... Okay. We're going to need to bust down some trees. There's a good question as to how much we're going to need, because I couldn't tell you. Like 200 and something, I think. If we come over here and put our wood in. Oh, we do need some stone dust. That. Alright, so we'll do production of 10 and see where that gets us. Thankfully, we kind of have the raw of both. Yeah, no, that should be more than enough. Forgot, carbon substrate is actually really cheap. Especially if you make like blocks out of it. Because it's really cheap to make. As long as you have some wood and some stone, you can break them down into fiber, stone dust, and just combine the two together. And pretty easily just not have to worry about too much of anything. I think if we grab just one more set of this, go into here, bam, we're down to copper. Alright, so we're let that probably out there. Pick that back up. That's done. Okay. Alright, so now literally it is just copper. Okay, that's good. Yeah, that's that craft that they were talking about, but there is a resource nearby, so maybe that's our iron we're looking for? Or one of the irons? I'm probably gonna try to set up somewhere near this place though, with them, probably in the non-claimed area. Not because I think it's the most ideal resource-wise, but because having access to wood is gonna be really important early on for biofuel. And now that we're actually kind of getting stuff sort of set up. Shoot. Yeah. So they virtually are on top of all the resources. Freaking tastic. Okay, this is kind of a wooded area here over here. This doesn't look too bad, funny enough, and I'm actually near water. Also kind of crucial. I'm gonna head towards this other resource here. I get the feeling it's not gonna be what I'm... But better to just take a look. See what's here. Those are some things that look kind of nasty. There's a gold deposit. Nice. Very small. Unknown artifact with some around it that I really don't want to mess with. But yeah, I think this area is not too bad over here. We'll definitely need to find something that you could set up here, for sure. Wouldn't mind heading back to where that ship was, but I just kind of want to leave it where it is, in case maybe my friend Renzo joins or Alan or one of the other guys decides to hop on. Destroy shelter. This might actually be good. Okay. Sort of the makings of what was once a base. Now, granted, again, could I take that and retrofit it? Sure, 100%. Would it be bad to do? No. So, am I going to? Probably not. A lot of very angry drones here. Definitely gonna need sniper rifle. Probably take them down. Get rid of them. Because there's another rocket drone around another. I don't want to get too close because, again, this is a not very stable craft. Not very well defended. Maybe if I had a minigun on it, wouldn't be too bad. If it was a tracking one, might be able to actually run by it. But we're just gonna head over to the copper vein. Copper here. But burn it by hand. Then we'll find a good spot to set up. Because we'll have some time to look. Especially because the fuel amount that we have right now, we have like 3 hours, over 3 hours worth of fuel. Almost 4. So. 218 minutes. Gonna give us a long time to sit here and mess around with this guy. And if we could actually find, this isn't too bad again, because it really all comes down to one very specific thing. Having other resources nearby. It's a little frustrating that the only thing near copper. So. Not a nice trifecta. Am I right on top of it? All right. Awesome. We can start production. 39 minutes and 30 some seconds. Essentially a lot of flipping time. But it should give us a good amount of time to sit here and figure out like a quick what we'll do. Pick that up. Now good there. Try to figure out a bump. That big old mountain. And like anywhere with trees are good. Flat. Don't really need water. It'll be useful. I just need it nearby enough that it's not going to be a pain to go to. It's really mainly at this point. We're going to be looking at like the oxygen supply. Oh shoot. Okay. Heading towards the rocket drone, which we it's they're all defended by Xerax stuff. That's annoying. We're just kind of floating in air. Close to some other thing. I'm assuming it's probably just a wreck at this point, but small wreck. Okay. This area would be terrible to set up in. Alright. Alright. It's a shame we couldn't get the resources last time to kind of get this rolling. We could build this up. But that is what it is. It's interesting they're defending a lot of like the base resources, but something like gold which is decently valuable for trade and kind of used in some intricate things. They're just sort of like, eh. I guess their expectation is someone not to get to that level of tech that they'd have to worry about it. See, somewhere in here's not a bad spot. I was kind of hoping for more of like a plateau-ish area. Ooh. This is again why I need slightly higher. It's either this region or we head north and kind of near the town, which we can. This is like a warmer part of the planet, just naturally. Most part. We'll go pick up a couple more things. I didn't. There is that close by silicon deposit. That warrior temple. The bear. Nice. Okay. The nice thing is, because would be close to town stuff, I would probably it'd be a benefit. Somewhere in here where we can get a nice like sort of area over the whole thing. I'll have to see how the base does, but we got like half an hour before this is done. So can do while that builds. Maybe look at some kind of basic stuff we can throw down here. I am in dire need of bullets. I definitely have plenty of steel plates. So we might be able to do some temple diving while we wait. which would be super nice. That we can make the assault rifle.
Low bean.
Hey!
What are you doing?
Oh, me right now?
You in Empyrion?
I am playing Empyrion. So, just enjoying the fun that is in.
I'll be right back. Sorry.
How dare you? I am so offended. Nah, you're good. I'm just making a bunch of ammo. That money. Like 100. Fine. We'll make 1,000 rounds. Because then I can go spelunking. Flamethrower fuel? Not know how to make. Probably not. Weapons, because of flamethrower. You'll be caught up in there. Flamethrower. That's actually annoying. Flamethrower. Can't make flamethrower fuel. Yeah. Not bitter. Basically needed everything to do scrape on by with that, so promise I'm not bitter. Not upset. Wait. Because this is slightly less damage, but I think it's way more accurate. More accurate, less recoil. Not as much damage. Longer range. Slightly bigger mag capacity. Eh. Good night.
What else do I got?
Okay. Now. They pick up.
I don't know. Did you?
What do you mean I did now? base. Alright, well, I did find a second burial chamber, which is good. Because while I'm waiting for my house to build in its blueprint stages, I can go ahead and do this. I'm pretty sure I could probably have built that faster myself, but considering this is it for
It is toast.
oh. Trying not to die. Help with. Why is it on here? Like someone. Here. 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 Oh. Found a weapon. Nice, because I can actually get to the point where I'm sort of exploring things now. I have ammo! Where? I'm going to be right back, guys.
Fair enough. Okay, this is scary.
I am back.
Welcome back.
All right. Have no idea how to get out of this place. Just enjoy the fact that I got an epic rifle and then for an exit. Yeah, no. A whole lot of nope. Yeah, no, you can stay up there. Freaking death trap.
Oh, great. I got rattles.
What does that even mean?
Debuff disease in Skyrim. Reduce stamina gen.
Yeah. Right. Cool. Well, for the most part, cleared this place out. Good about that. All right. Go ahead. A good rifle to kind of help clear stuff out. So. Up. Back on. Double check and this. Ooh. Good to go. Alright. So. You're right outside here. That flat spot. Up here. Taking a hot second.
Ba-da-ba-bam.
Lando.
Is that my? Oh, is that my cue? Was that my cue to?
Yeah.
Was that the audio cue to? That's my bad. I missed
We
my
can try it
cue.
again if you want, but
I mean-
otherwise we could just.
To be honest, it's kind. I haven't read the script in a couple of days. That could just be me. I missed the audio cue.
I'm pretty sure
And
just
Toast is gone.
Just it's gone.
So Lando, I hate to tell you, but not reading the script like this is exactly why you're going to be stuck in these low value productions like this for the rest of your career.
it's kind of true actually.
I'm really glad you can level with me, guys.
We're here for.
What the heck? There's another one?
Another one?
Another one.
Well,
It's another
I found
one.
I found another Minecraft spawner.
You're playing the Mooncraft.
Yes, I'm playing Mooncraft. Not to be confused with the one hit.
Yeah,
wonder
Minecraft.
Minecraft.
Minecraft. The one-hit wonder Minecraft.
I mean, here's the thing.
I mean, but
You're
again,
not wrong.
he's not wrong. It was very popular, you know, in the 30s and 40s.
I don't know if any of his other works were successful, due to him not being allowed at art. And
Robot Lando.
See, this is
Robot.
what
I mean-
happens when you start criticizing his other works.
Oh, my robot. Hello.
I think most people really seemed to dislike his sophomore effort, and then, you know, he really went out with a bang.
And the wind-up and the pitch.
And we seem to have lost Lando.
I think he
I'm
died.
dead. I've died.
That's literally my exact response 9 times out of 10 whenever I die in Phasmophobia. Like, yep, I'm dead. Try to empty out. Bad boy. Park it closer, probably. And right here. Fine. Has no power.
You have no power, yeah.
come back from the dead.
And now he's back from outer space. Something,
Oh,
something,
no.
something, something. That look upon his face. I hope you enjoyed my personal ballad for you, because yeah, only time I'm
So, I
doing
mean, I
that.
went to go to bed last night, and then Sabin and I just ended up talking about Warhammer for like an additional hour.
Yeah, if you get him going on it, he'll talk for a long time about Warhammer.
I mean, there's so much interesting stuff, and I feel like I always teeter on the edge of like, I should learn about Warhammer, and then I remember that I have a job, and I need to be awake during the day and not browsing like the deep archives of the internet. And then I remember that sometimes my job gives me downtime, and I should.
Yep, you're not wrong.
I'm thinking audiobooks is going to be where I start.
See,
I've been
not...
told to just.
Go ahead.
Justin's disposition is that I should just get the audiobook of the Horus Heresy, and that will tell me everything that I really need to know.
Yeah. Not wrong.
He said pardon you. Oh.
Pardon me. Gosh, they all have the same freaking...
I think I was just passing through, and I asked the question, if the Emperor doesn't want there to be any gods, why are these Adeptus Mechanicus talking about the machine gods? I still don't really understand that.
He doesn't want any alien gods.
He also really didn't want any people gods either. But unfortunately, the Emperor's
I don't
kind of not alive right now. I mean, he is, but he's not to really do
So he's like a
anything
living
about it.
corpse that barely holds the Empire together, and then everyone worships him, and
Which he didn't want in the first place. Okay, you want the basic summation of all this?
sure.
I will try to give you a 5-minute synopsis. I do not guarantee this is only going to take me 5 minutes, but it should be pretty darn close. Okay. Humanity starts off, right? Emperor's sort of there, not the Emperor yet. Humanity has Age of Technology, like Dark Age of Tech, everything else. Starts expanding really rapidly, cool things are happening, but it's eventually kind of comes crashing down whenever they advance too much with AI tech. AI tech rebels, and because it's too smart, basically that's when you start getting AI tech being banned. So like, that's the reason in the 40k universe you don't see AI. Got too smart, almost wiped out humanity. Humanity said nope, and it kind of ravaged stuff eventually so bad that chucked
It's
with
just
chaos.
Dune.
Yeah, basically that chucked with chaos. It turned into people who had psychic powers also started doing things at points with those psychic powers, and chaos sort of woke up with the chaos gods who were floating around and started corrupting people because people didn't realize that chaos could do that yet. So the Empire eventually gets kind of splintered, the original Terran Empire, and then Terra itself. Hang on one sec. So anyways, Terra itself ends up... it ends up pretty much kind of
Fuck.
splintered and screwed over, and a bunch of warlords are in charge, right? So psychic powers exist in the universe way before this, but not getting into anything super critical detail-wise. The Emperor's kind of existed for pretty much a long time himself. He's perpetual, which pretty much means he doesn't really die. He lives pretty much forever, blah blah blah.
And this is where he has to like
He
eat all the
unifies-
psychers.
He
Right.
doesn't have to eat the psychers yet. This is original OG Emperor, okay?
Okay.
Fully formed and whatnot. He was... there's a couple different origin stories. I think the current one that they're still kind of going with is a bunch of really powerful psychers who could kind of control their powers better ended up fusing together to form the Emperor. So it's like a collective of a bunch of psychic humans that then became a perpetual being. So you kind of have that element there. And on top of that, Emperor's lived up to this point, sees everything. He's kind of tried to help guide humanity throughout, sort of takes over the reins fully at this point. Kind of develops the first Space Marines, Thunder
Honestly,
Warriors,
forgot
uses
about that.
them, takes over Terra. Okay? Reunifies Terra. Despite all the crazy psychic garbage that happened and a bunch of other things.
Mhm.
Kind of offs the Thunder Warriors, ends up making the first Space Marines, makes Primarchs. So all this is based on his DNA. So he basically uses his DNA as a template to make super soldiers and then equips them with the best gear that he possibly can. And then in order to
And those are the Ultramarines.
No. The original first chapter that was made was actually the Dark Angels. So don't be fooled. Ultramarines weren't the first ones. But all the Space Marine chapters were essentially made from the Emperor, so there are different ones. So you have Dark Angels, Ultramarines, Blood Angels, everything else across the board, and you have all the different chapters that were the originals. I think it's, 20 in total? There are 2 lost chapters, but it gets a little complicated. When the Emperor is developing his Primarchs, which are basically like the closest gene seed to himself, they are, in his mind, his sons, because essentially he's made them as like tiny carbon copies of himself that have specific aspects of him there. So like way more powerful than your regular Space Marine. They're like super Space Marines, almost on par with the Emperor, but not. Like the Emperor can still kick the crap out of them, but they're still really strong.
And this, we're getting close to the part that Justin and I covered last night, which is where like
Basically,
forests.
chaos intervenes, and while these are all being cryogenically, they're not cryogenic. Well, they're all being formed essentially in these vat tube things, which then he was going to send off to different areas of the old empire to help reconquer. Chaos basically does some stuff, gets them all to launch onto different planets, and by doing so, because they're not under the Emperor's direct guidance, they land on different planets and they all develop little human quirks. So rather than being beings that are not tainted by human emotions or human needs or blah blah blah, because they're directly raised by the Emperor himself, Chaos screws that over intentionally, so they all have human quirks and whatnot. Because of that, when the Emperor starts finding his sons, because he goes on a giant quest with all the Space Marine armies, he's pretty much made for them based upon his son. How should I phrase this? I gotta backtrack a slight second. The original Space Marines weren't necessarily directly based on the Emperor's gene seed. They're actually based upon his son's gene seeds, if that makes sense. So he basically made up like 20 clones of himself, so to speak, or gene seeds. 20 like clone sons, or miniature versions of himself. Then took those, while they were in development, and made a gene seed of each one of them, and then used that as a template for those armies underneath of them. So like the Space Marines would be like the Emperor's grandkids. Okay? Does that make sense?
I know.
It's kind of just how it sort of worked. That's why the specific chapters are very attached to their Primarchs, because they're basically, that's their dad. So you're looking at a very sort of hierarchical structure like that. But anyways, moving forward, because they have human quirks, as the Emperor starts reunifying with his sons, he particularly likes Horus, who Justin talked about. Horus has his own quirks and his own pride and this, that, and the other, which then Chaos feeds off of those quirks of each son, trying to corrupt them. So that's where essentially half the Primarchs fall to Chaos. So essentially, besides the 2 lost Primarchs, which don't count, of the other ones that remain, half of them fall, the other half stay loyal. And essentially at that point, you have the whole Horus heresy happen. where they get the warrior cults that kind of infiltrate through chaos by one of the Primarchs who got a human quirk. His name was Lorgar. Sorry, I said Logar. Lorgar. Lorgar got on a planet that was extremely religious, like hyper religious. So his whole thing when he was like looking for this god-like being to come and show up and redeem and blah blah blah, when the Emperor showed up, Lorgar wanted to worship him, and they all wanted to worship this, that, and the other. The Emperor wants nothing to do with religion whatsoever, at all. So Lorgar tries to worship him. Emperor gets pissed and tells him, "Don't do that," and virtually like threatens to like blow up the planet pretty much because he's like, "No, this is bad. You shouldn't have these people doing this." So Lorgar gets upset. Chaos feeds off of that because Chaos wants to be worshipped. So they essentially use that to kind of corrupt Lorgar. Lorgar then essentially infiltrates the other Space Marine chapters with these warrior lodges. Once Chaos gets a hold of him enough that they start using him to manipulate other Space Marine chapters and their Primarchs to kind of fall in line and do these different things. Lo and behold, half the Primarchs split because of this stuff, and that kind of happens when Horus gets injured in combat. See, the thing is, like, if you really get down in the nitty-gritty, Horus, who caused the rebellion, gets injured in combat, and in order to save him, they take him to these dark priests, essentially, or these shamans of some of these warrior cults, and they use them to heal him, because his wounds would not heal even despite his own Primarch regeneration, like his ability to heal himself, because Chaos was directly trying to influence that, and what the shamans did ritualistically is pretty much corrupt Horus fully at that point, because there is still part of him that probably would have not fallen had it not been for that. So he falls, drags the other group with them. They betray the Emperor, eventually fight their way to the capital, which is Holy Terra, which the Emperor had rebuilt. And they, have this big ensuing battle. Part of the reason the Emperor's kind of boned over to a chair is because one of his sons that eventually fell to Chaos tried to warn the Emperor using psychic powers, which they had banned using psychic powers. The Emperor did at, funny enough, the Council of Nicaea.
Oh.
Yeah. I know. The name usage there made me laugh when I always said
There's some fun irony.
Yeah, so they banned the use of psychic powers at that point. So like magic, that, and the other. They banned.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's basically what happened at our Council of Nicaea too.
Yeah. So they're pretty much like, hey, don't use magic, don't use psychic powers, because this can screw everything over if you do. Like Chaos can try to get a hold of you, do this, that, and the other. So they said we probably shouldn't be using any of this. The only one that really could use it and not be corrupted and not be influenced by it was pretty much the Emperor himself. One of his sons was extremely psychically gifted, just like his dad. That was just a trait that he got in that gene seed. And he also went on a world that dealt a lot with magic and psychic powers. So when he found out that Horus betrayed dear old dad, he tried to communicate with him. Couldn't get through because dad was using this whole thing to try to shield a project he was working on in the Empyrion, which is basically like he was trying to build a human webway to make it easier for them to travel. Because I don't know if Justin talked to you about Geller fields and stuff at all. But whole spiel of, okay, they're in the Empyrion, chaos exists here, they have to have a Geller field. If they don't have a Geller field, they kind of get screwed over. So, yeah, the chaos can just get straight on the ship, murder them, and just make it terrible.
So this is something.
Like I said, it's a little.
When the Emperor does
made
the whole like half get killed by Horus and
the Emperor was trying to make the webway. I'll get there. It's close. We're almost done. When the Emperor made the webway, it was his attempts to make hyperspace travel safer so they didn't have to worry about a Geller field going wrong and a bunch of chaos demons spawning on a ship and murdering a ton of people. Also, you had weird issues where sometimes people could actually appear in the future going through the warp because the warp, the Empyrion or the warp was unstable. So you could have an entire fleet show up 2 weeks before it's supposed to, or a month late, or even years later,
They look cute.
Yeah.
just because it kind of sucked. So that's why the Emperor was trying to do this project to make it safe, because he was essentially copying off of what the Eldar, the elves, the space elves, let's be honest, that's what they are, had done before him.
He was using xenotechnology.
He was trying to basically do it in his human means to put it together, and he was using his psyche to protect the project. Unfortunately, one of his sons, empowered by a chaos god, broke the barrier, which then caused a bunch of chaos demons to start pouring through the webway that he had made. So in order to protect Terra, because otherwise they'd be ripping through the webway into Holy Terra itself, the Custodes, which were his personal guard, that he replaced the Thunder Warriors with, and his own psychic powers, pretty much had to seal the gate. And in order to keep the gate sealed, he had to sit in that stupid chair. Okay? The only reason during the siege of Terra he was able to get off of that is because there was an extremely powerful, the third most powerful human, or psyker in existence, was actually a human named Malkador, and he agreed to take over the chair for him while the Emperor could go deal with all the crap. So
I'm assuming he dies from being in the chair.
He eventually dies from being in the chair. Just like the Emperor pretty much goes into sort of semi-permadeath in the chair, because he pretty much gets locked in for the rest of his existence currently in order to keep Terra from overflowing with demons and the world from being consumed by it. Because they could just start flooding into the plane, the mortal plane right there, which would be bad. You'd end up with another, like Chaos Eye thing, which is a whole spiel I don't need to get into right now. Pretty much giant vortex where a bunch of chaos craft can pour through, which is bad. So, yeah. He gets stuck in the chair permanently because of that, in a nutshell. And that's after you and Justin talked about the whole, what was it? Horus betray, because you guys get through the whole part where Horus basically kills the guardsman that's trying to protect the Emperor, which they changed.
Yeah, the guardsman, which also might be a marine, which also might be
No. It was a guardsman. Then a marine got jealous and felt like he needed to step in front. And then, obviously, beyond that, you then had a custody had to step in front because he, bodyguarded the Emperor. Anyways, stupidity behind that. The whole point of him doing that.
So many people have still to this day fight over that.
It should have been a guardsman. They should have left it there because the point of the story was he killed something so pathetically weak without even a second thought. That's what made the Emperor snap and finally kill him. That was the whole intent. Because it's like he literally killed one of his other favorite sons that the Emperor really liked a lot, pretty much in front of him. Straight up broke his back. Which was the Blood Angel's Primarch, Sanguinius. Horus killed his brother there. Broke his back pretty much straight up.
So some of the other Primarchs other than Horus are dead?
Oh yeah. There's other Primarchs that are just straight dead. Sanguinius is rumored that he might have survived that somehow. There's some speculation that he also could have come back like as a perpetual. Some of them are perpetual, some of them aren't. So like Vulcan is a perpetual. We're pretty sure the way it's worded and how it works because they've tried to kill him. Like there are other ones that they're just dead. They ain't coming back with how they were killed. So like one of them essentially, one of the Primarchs essentially lets somebody assassinate him, and pretty much intentionally. He's like, yeah, I knew you were coming. I already predicted this moment in the future. This needs to happen. And he turned against the Emperor, but he let himself get assassinated. Really weird. That's its own spiel there. So, but Horus is mega dead, very much dead. So the Emperor pretty much decided to, even though Horus was basically, because he was letting Horus win. He didn't want to kill Horus because Horus was like his favorite son out of all of them. Because he spent the most time with the Emperor doing all this crap, and the Emperor really trusted him to do a lot of stuff. So he was hoping to kind of flip him back somehow. But it was kind of, that whole point was, once he killed the guardsmen, the Emperor was like, yeah, if he's just gonna murder a helpless human that ain't gonna do jack all like this, like, there's no hope for him. It's like if, you maliciously just drowned a bag of puppies or something. Like, you have to be pretty far gone to actually do that.
Yeah.
Because it's like, they ain't gonna do jack all to you. Like, so, but yeah, that's why he stuck to the chair at this point, because Emperor pretty much almost dies, gives a couple last commands before he kind of deteriorates away, so to speak, in the chair, while he's still sort of the Emperor. And then sort of says, oh, this is Malkador the Great, because this dude, even though he's a freaking human, managed to survive long enough for me to actually go take care of this. But yeah, that ends up killing Malkador, who is like the Emperor's right-hand man advisor, who got kind of pissy with some of the Primarchs at one point or another, which was hilarious, because he was strong enough that he could actually beat the ever-living snot out of some of the Primarchs. No questions. He just didn't have that kind of body to deal with the punishment. But yeah, he was storied to actually have thrown people around at certain instances, which is hilarious when you read about it. Neat stories, neat guy. Probably one of my favorite characters in 40k lore was him. So, but anywho, that's kind of where direction I was gonna go with. So that's a little longer than I expected, but not too much longer. All things considered, how much is there? So, any questions, comments, snide remarks?
I feel like I'm just gonna have to like get some of the audio books and read them,
Yeah.
enjoy them.
The lore's neat. Like, if you want to ever sit down and read the lore, it's super neat. Very worthwhile.
And know that there's like a ton of Black Library stuff that's on Audible, a ton of it,
I believe it.
and like.
But keep
So
in mind.
when did all of the different bands? Okay, so I just ran into some Blood Angels in the game I'm playing. We were talking about them. So what keeps them going once their Primarch is dead? Like, who's in charge once the Primarch dies?
Next in line, the Primarch. A lot of the Primarchs had chapter masters and things like that, like people that were their right hand mans.
Mhm.
Like, okay, because
Each individual Primarch was like an inconceivably large empire, right?
Well, each Primarch had, like, the Space Marine legions originally were massive. They weren't broken up into chapters like they are. The reason why they're broken up now is that's where you get the Codex Astartes, because they were pretty much, the Blue Smurfs were worried that someone might try to rebel again at some point, and in order to prevent them from controlling an entire chapter, their idea was to break up the chapter, like essentially the Space Marine legions, into different chapters to kind of keep things where you didn't necessarily have somebody having absolute control over one of the Space Marine legions. So that's why you have chapter masters, where you have the Ultramarines, which are like your standard Ultramarine, but then there's also different chapter groups of them, so to speak. So you'll see Ultramarines that look different from each other. I can't remember some of them off the top of my heads. But it's the same. The same is true with Dark Angels. Like, they're all Dark Angels, but they're different chapters. So they are all under different things. just because they were trying to keep it that way, people didn't use the power that was there to do whatever. Was the general concern. But the Blood Angels, for example, though, like they all still feel their Primarch's pain occasionally. Also, they have a genetic mutation, which is fun, called Blood Rage. So they kind of go nuts. That's why you'll kind of see them occasionally depicted in some ways as vampire-like or vampiric.
In short, they are insane.
They kind of go crazy eventually. Not all of them. Some of them don't. But eventually, a Blood Angel will kind of go crazy, and they will join certain units as they kind of get close to that. Usually, like their assault squads and stuff, kind of consist of them because they have special ones. There's a couple exceptions to that rule who have yet to succumb to it, but eventually, from what I remember, they eventually put them down, right?
Black. What is this dragon at? Oh, there he is.
Are you waiting for a dragon for some reason? Yeah. Open this up. Stay here.
Dragon scales, gold.
I am genuinely out of the two of them. Though I will say I'm kind of upset that fantasy got kind of boned over the way it did.
Fantasy was really cool.
I liked the rank and file system. I liked like the uniqueness of it. And had I probably been introduced to that first, I probably would have actually devoted a lot of time to playing it. And actually got an army for it. I mean, granted, I have an army of Dark Angels sitting upstairs, but they're painted. I just haven't done anything with them. Just haven't had the time. To gotta meet up with AJ and play. He's the only other person with stuff.
So, Second Extinction is free on Epic. If you do not have it, you should get it. I have it and own it on Steam. It is
I kinda
cross-platform.
read about it. What kind of game is that? Like,
So I've played it a little bit. I haven't played it a lot, but I did play it a little bit. So
Are you dropping into the map fresh each time, or are you? Is it like an ongoing game? I heard it's just one giant map.
it is one giant map.
I was trying to
So
figure out,
it's-
it's like, is this like a Left 4 Dead meets a freaking like?
So think Left 4 Dead,
Uh-huh.
or better yet, think Evolve.
Uh-huh.
Okay, the
So
game
you have
that was
yeah,
bad, right?
it wasn't bad. Evolve was unique, but I think it was a little bit ahead of its time. And then they ruined it with microtransactions and things like that later on. I enjoyed Evolve. I thought Evolve was really fun, but not enough people played it enough, so then they had to shut down the servers, which kind of sucked. However, Second Extinction, you have Left 4 Dead type mechanics. So 4 players, you do drop into a map, but the map is a large map, very consistent. So when you drop into the map, you can go to the next mission or whatever it is from that point, or you can leave and then come back later. So, and instead of zombies, it's mutated dinosaurs. And they are massive, and it's very fun to play.
It's like you're going in with a mission,
Yeah,
trying to
there
do
is
that.
there is a little bit of free roam in there as well. So if you want to run around with the group and kind of just do side stuff for a while, you can. You don't have to.
I'm going to maintain that I do not like Epic, but boy, they sure do give away a lot of pretty good free games.
Steam reviews for it are very positive, I think. Let's go to the start page.
Wait, how'd your wife get tested already? Out of curiosity.
We stopped by the Meijer to do it when I was there to get my medication. And she got tested, and they did one of those 15-minute ones. And she got an email or text message saying that she was, yeah, apparently, according to her, she's dying.
You'll have that some days.
Try not to die too hard.
Yes. So, I do care about you, babe. You've been fine thus far. You have been fine thus far. Okay. I'm sorry. Are you okay? Oh, you're good? Alright. No problem. Second Extinction's store description is a little thing is big map, big dinosaurs, big guns, face an ever-changing threat level with your friends. Second Extinction is an online FPS with bite.
Yeah.
First-person shooter. That's also frames per second.
So what's the purpose of?
Well, this is interesting. Join the war effort, shape the future. Our mantra is that players win battles, communities win wars. Nowhere is this more true than our war effort feature. Each region of our big map has a unique threat level. This threat level can be lowered if enough of our players are successful in their missions and activities. But the dinosaurs aren't resting either, and they'll focus their efforts where you aren't. Each week, the community will see the fruits of their labors or feel the consequences of their incompetence. Let the threat level get out of control, and you can expect an especially tough emergence event to be waiting for you. So they have that. The goal is simple: reclaim Earth. In Second Extinction, you take on hordes of mutated dinosaurs with up to 2 friends. Solo players, beware. Second Extinction is designed with squads in mind. Only the strong will survive. They are trying to work with the community as much as possible to make the best game possible. And they want to hear any feedback loud and clear, and they intend for the community to be a vital part of the development process. They have a roadmap on their Steam page as well, so if you want to take a look at that.
I do like a good roadmap.
So far, it looks like they've already gone through everything. They haven't said anything after 2021. The last update that they had for it was November 2021, and that was adaptation, which I think involved new rewards, seasonal contracts, auto turrets, and hand cannons. Back in April 2021, they released on Xbox. And it looks like they added a new type of dinosaur. Back in November. Pre-season 7. Oh, they released Horde mode. Okay. Last point of note we'd like to make here is that we've taken further action on making solo experience more forgiving and let the multiplayer experience more intense. Multiple players already draw more attention whilst roaming around the world, but in a pre-season 7, we now also scale how many dinosaurs arrive as reinforcements to singular locations. This will be noticeable on many mission objectives, activities, and of course, extractions. So, the game is actively in development.
I was gonna say it's early access.
Yes. But again, a lot of early access games, plus this is free on Epic, you know, they just kind of, oh, well, here you go. You know, here's the game, and then they just stop progress on it altogether.
I think Epic being a little bit more of a curated store, like, so Steam, for better or worse, will let anything on. And Epic kind of prides itself on being like, they only let on the games that they want on. So I would be shocked if you really get those instances on Epic where games don't come out, because I think Epic will be like, no, your game will come out or we will see you.
Yeah. They've been sued so many times that they're just like, you know what,
We
we're
have
done
great
with
lawyers.
this. We got great lawyers. This is some bullshit.
have
If
the
you don't pull out
best
your game,
lawyers.
we'll pull it out for you.
I know they have a pretty tight integration with their. Again, it's kind of one of those, for better or worse things, they have a pretty tight integration with a lot of the games that come out. Like, they half make them do work on their like the Gearbox when it was coming, when Borderlands 3 was coming out as an Epic exclusive.
Mhm.
They didn't have cloud saving on their store,
Oh.
and Epic made Gearbox build the cloud saving for the Epic store because people were complaining about like, hey, your store is bad and you're holding a very good game hostage on a very bad store.
All right. This open. I'll go ahead and head over to my library and start this, and then I think I'll stream it to you guys so you can see what kind of BS is going on here. I do think the game is fun. From the little bit that I did play, because I only played like about 16 minutes of the game, and from what I played was fun. But I definitely thought when I was playing it, this would be so much more fun if I had people to play it with. And again, they have stated on their store page, this game is designed with groups of people playing together in mind. Looks like we lost Lando.
Because you're talking about groups of people. Scared him. What's wrong with you? Like, hey, I want to play with friends. Lando's like, nope, I'm out of here.
I've been cracking up all day that we like literally found him in a pub game last night.
Hilarious. So it kind of looks like the continents of Earth have all gone back together into Pangea.
Fun.
Interesting. Hey. Basic training. Ammo stash. Equipment stash. Okay, let's go ahead and do our routine thing with all games.
Oh.
Jumping. See to crouch. Crouch. Left shift to sprint. Left shift and C to slide. I might change that
you know
to
what?
control. Base. Oh, wow, you have a dodge mechanic. Oh shit. So it has the Tundra, which is missions. And then it has Expedition, which is just free roam. And it's got Horde mode, so emergency landing. Got an armory, which you can kit out your weapons. Get different weapons at different levels. Get different heroes. So, yeah. Ortega, who's a trooper. Jack, who's an enforcer. And each hero has a different ability. Like 3 different abilities. So the enforcer is more like kind of run and gun. The trooper is more run and gun. The enforcer is kind of like a big ass tank of sorts.
Big ass tank, my favorite.
Yes. Carries a big ass gun. Contract set level 3. Database. Armory. Different types of equipment, I think, that you unlock at different levels, or you get this currency called research, and you use that to unlock stuff. I don't know. I know you got a expeditions. The expeditions is doing the war effort stuff, essentially, by pushing the enemy back on all fronts. You can change the difficulties from normal, hard, and insane. Yeah. Oh, it's Apex that count. So it's Avalanche, Apex. I guess they have the Hunter, Call of the Wild, Second Extinction, and Generation Zero, all under their umbrella.
Okay.
Generation
So-
Zero is a fun game.
Yeah. How much more you got left in that 40k game?
I'm watching the last cutscene right now.
Ah. Yeah.
I
Oh,
jumped into the warp, and somehow the Inquisition isn't angry at me.
Oh, they're angry at you. They're just gonna question you.
Sir, we got a couple questions for you if you want to come down to the space station.
I'll be right back. I'm going to maybe get some coffee?
Kofefe?
Some kofefe? Yeah, Second Extinction's not a big download. It's like maybe 3 gigs, maybe 4. So it's free on Epic, Taco. So if you
do need to acquire that, don't I?
want to get into that, that'd be awesome to play. I think you can play with more than 2 other people, so it's like a 3-person thing. But I think it might be more than that. I could be wrong.
Am acquiring it now.
So I think. I mean, is the game finished? It's got work it's still working on. It's early access, so keep that in mind. For an early access game, I still think it is quite fun. So I really just kind of started right now, so it's like I'd be starting on the same foot as everybody else, really. So yeah, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go see if I can get some coffee.
Free games are free games.
It's very true.
Free.
Second. Yeah. Loading my order. Okay, so. Besides playing edit this. Okay with how. Hardened steel. Have the titanium there. Funny enough. Might as well. Take broken wing.
Sabine, I noticed you haven't died yet.
No. I've fixed that problem.
But then what's the fun?
Fun is I actually have a base now. Not to paint it. See? I have a base. I'm gonna have to add some blocks in. Bond it in. That way it's not floating. Hard finding a flat surface on this planet. While I'm here.
How is it? How's it still negative inside the base?
Inside the base right now?
Yeah, it still said like negative 60 something
Because I'm
before you open. Yeah, negative 68. There we go.
because it's long story. There are certain parts of the base that are heated, and there are certain parts that aren't, probably because of proximity things. Like over here, there's technically an opening. The base isn't perfectly sealed.
Well, why not?
I don't really care right now, because what matters is here. Are these grow plots forming? Over here. I think it's consistent. Perfectly. It's because if you come out here, you have quick access to drop off and not a big deal. But
Huge
obviously,
deal. To have like a seal system of some kind.
yeah, I can fiddle with that later. I'm not really hyper worried.
What is this thing?
Oh, it's that hovercraft I had. I'm just trying to make it a little less likely to explode. Not that it actually will be less likely to explode. I have a bunch of titanium tearing apart the one ship, so I figured, hey, why don't I go ahead and take and rip this thing apart, put an actual enclosed thing. But yeah, gonna work down here. Lights kicked on because I. Anyhow, let's fix this one. Grab all that. Cargo containers. I got extra stuff here.
Josh, what are you up to?
Oh my gosh, I just watched that video that Joel just posted.
It was hilarious.
In critical moments, I have less faith in women. Oh. I just beat a Warhammer 40k Space Marine Anniversary Edition.
Congratulations.
Thank you. It was a pretty good game.
Yeah.
I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars for being a pretty okay game.
It's a nice, solid shooter, fun story. Is it anything absolutely amazing? No. It's a good shooter, though. And it's a fun story.
Well, and I like third-person shooters, but ever since Gears of War ruined third-person shooters with being like, what if you had a button that glued your butt to the nearest piece of concrete? Then they've become worse. And I like that this game is like, just stomp with your big old stompy feet right out in the middle of that hallway and shoot some things.
Your brain's just like, yeah, I can get behind this.
Yeah, like I said, I think Gears of War did not do a service. Also, map design for a while there. Map design's real garbage, where every room and every house ever, for some reason, had a bunch of chest-high walls.
Duh.
Are you complaining about my chest-high wall?
You have chest-high walls in your house, just in case the Locust Horde invade?
Yeah. You?
Yeah, with so after finally beating this 11-year-old game, I really like it. I will be interested to see what they do with a sequel to this.
It's a little confusing because, like, when the Inquisition's like, "Hey, we're gonna take you," I'm like, "Okay, that's fine," but the Inquisition taking someone is a bad thing.
Yeah,
That
I will
pretty
be.
much left it off as like, yeah, he's probably gonna die, or they'll, if they actually do use him again. Yeah, story felt like it should have been a little different, but
Yeah, that's what Justin was complaining about last night. He's like, get to the end, the Inquisition does some stuff that doesn't make sense. I would agree. The Inquisition, from what I know of them, seems to do some stuff that doesn't make sense. But yeah, I thought that was pretty good. So, continuing on, I think this week I will be able to finish Halo 5.
potty then. Checking Look at that.
What are
Oh,
we
yeah.
looking at?
I'm out of.
Alright, Jester. How big is the download for this dinosaur game?
When I downloaded it, it was like, I think, either 4 or 5 gigs.
Second extinction. Early access.
Okay. I mean, GTFO is on sale currently.
I wanted to like that game.
They did. They
What game?
didn't change much.
GTFO.
Yeah, I heard it went 1.0, and I heard that nothing. That was a game that I really wanted to like.
I did too. I really did too. Like Left 4 Dead was just
Because on paper, that should have been a game that we got way into. Like,
Yeah.
based on the kind of games that we all seem to like. Like a little bit of horror and a little bit of bro op shooter and a little, some puzzle solving.
problem is that if you don't go stealth in this game, it's just bad.
And the stealth, I would make the case, is kind of bad because I don't like
Yep.
games. I don't like games. I like stuff like Splinter Cell and Metal Gear Solid, where you're like laying in a ditch in the water with mud on you to make sure that they don't see you and sneaking through an installation. I don't like it when they're like, let's talk about stealthing. Cool, what's stealthing? You crouch, and then the aggro range gets smaller.
But that's stealth, Josh.
It's not how stealth works.
Jealous.
Be warned, GTFO isn't your typical run and gun shooter. It's for players that value a serious challenge.
Thing is,
Don't
they're
like
also incredibly full of themselves with their, like, that is aggressive pricing. Because isn't it like $30 or $40?
25% off right now. So it was 40. It is currently 30.
Yeah, they came out of the gates like a $40 game. Like,
They have
you
very
have to,
positive reviews.
you have to say, am I 2/3 as good as a brand new day one game, or am I as good as last year's AAA games on sale?
Like, did that game win any Golden Joystick Awards? No. Did Elden Ring do? Yes.
Like,
Words.
because you are competing. Like, here's the thing, and I hate to say it because it sounds mean, maybe, but there are too many people making games that if your game isn't like drop dead incredible, don't even try. Because you're going to get buried and you're going to be a free game on the Epic Store or on Amazon Prime or somewhere else in 2 years.
It's not necessarily that you shouldn't try, it's just you have to price yourself reasonably. If you're a game that has it has some unique things, but it's nothing amazing, like price yourself reasonably. Because otherwise, no one's gonna care. I won't care.
Because there's just too many games, like, and that's not a bad thing. Like, I'm not complaining as the consumer.
Well, here's a game that I think
there's a zillion good games that are all competing with each other on price. Sorry, I had to finish that sentence. What game are you excited about, Jester?
I'm not so much excited about it. It's a game that I have actually been keeping my eye on for a while because, again, I liked Evolve. I
Mhm.
really did. Now, here's a concept. The concept of Evolve, right? Where you have the monster, one person,
Mhm.
and then you are going against 4 other players.
There's that.
And that's Predator Hunting Grounds.
I don't think that reviewed very well.
It's reviewed pretty well. It's literally sitting at mostly positive currently. And very positive.
I think what I really I'm going to throw out that the Metascore with 61 critical reviews is a 56 out of 100 for that game. But I don't think that that's my style of game, regardless. Like the 4-player versus a monster, because I like Dead by Daylight, but it's not my thing.
I mean,
Yeah.
Dead by Daylight's a little bit different though. That's more
I
I mean,
enjoyed Dead by Daylight
escape.
with friends.
there's a difference. Yeah, I get what you're saying. There's a difference between like combat versus escaping versus all that, but the whole like 1 monster, 5 weaker characters thing.
Yeah. I mean, Hunting Grounds is currently on sale for 50% off, which is actually a pretty good deal. Considering that you get the Predator Bundle Edition, which is generally $40, and you get a bunch of DLC with it. Now, I do want to see Predator Hunting Grounds Metascore.
Not even trying to make it look that pretty, just something that like. Ish.
It's an out of 56.
That's good here for him. I have a base. Hover bikes being slowly built. Something bigger of a hovercraft.
I am glad though that they started porting some PlayStation games over to PC.
And that does make me happy. Because like God of War, if you like those third-person story-ish games, God of War might be the best. Because it's just makes me real happy. My wife got angry periodically when I would play without her that she was missing parts of the story.
For God of War?
Yeah, that is not typical of my wife. For reference, she usually.
Well,
Alright. I'll end the stream there for that. Alright. Well, just gonna say thanks for watching. Be back later with another night.